Hi there, I'm Tara from Wild Bird Farm. Today I have a few orders I need to put together. I'm going to be doing some wrapped bouquets in craft paper, and then it is Administrative Professional Day later this week. So we're going to be putting together a few small jarred arrangements that someone requested that they could do a gift card in the top. So I'm just gonna walk through my process. These are both quick and simple things to do, but sometimes it's helpful just to kind of see someone else do them. So first up, let's work on our wrap bouquets. For wrap bouquets, you can buy pre-cut sleeves, and I've done that before. It's more cost effective, at least at this point so far, for me to just buy an 18-inch of craft paper and cut this myself. I just eyeball it, nothing too perfect around here, but I try to make it roughly a square, and then I fold it off center, and then I have a stamp that I add. And then in addition to that, sometimes I'll use tissue paper to line the bouquet. I don't always do this, but we're gonna do it today. And then depending on where these are going, I might need to add price stickers from a store. These particular ones, I have my business card, and on the back I have fresh flower care instructions. So I will just staple this on so this is facing up. That is the plan for the bouquets. Now I already actually put the flowers together. I woke up this morning and I thought, well, I'm just gonna get this done quick, and I didn't even think about filming it. So I'll show you the bouquets that I put together. These particular ones are going to a small chain grocery store in the Midwest. So this is something new. I'm just trialing it right now. I took my first bunch in on Friday last week. So they had Friday and Saturday with, I believe I took in 9 bouquets just to see how they would do. This particular grocery store is closed on Sundays. So now we are back to Sunday evening here. I kind of do this same, take Mondays and Fridays or Mondays and Thursday nights at another boutique I sell at, and that tends to work pretty well. I have found, at least at that location, people really love to buy flowers on Friday and Saturday. So I'm generally taking more either Thursday night or early Friday for those 2 days. At this other boutique, it's Sunday as well. But then on Monday, I'll take another handful just so they have fresh flowers throughout the week. But I take a smaller amount because I find, at least at this particular store, people aren't buying flowers on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday as much. So if you're wanting to do consignment or wholesale to another business, just doing wrap bouquets or a little jar bouquets, I would just say play around with it, number one, see what works best for you. And it might take a little bit until people know that there's flowers there that they can buy. I will post an update at the very end of this, how my flowers did the very first time. They had 2 whole days to sell, and actually I took them in Friday at noon. So they had like a day and a half to sell. So I'm not expecting that I'll get there and all 9 are gone. I hope I'd be happy with 5 or 6. I've noticed, being in several other areas, it takes a while for people to know, oh, there's flowers here, I can go here to get flowers. If you've ever walked into Trader Joe's, at least the one that's local to me, there are always a ton of people over by the flower section. People generally love flowers. I think people like to buy their everyday flowers somewhere where it's convenient for them. I think a grocery store or somewhere where they're picking up their coffee is a great place for you to try selling your flowers. But I do want to emphasize that it takes a while, at least for me. It took a little bit to get established in these businesses, and to also kind of get the word out to the community what you were doing and when you would have flowers there. I have some regulars now at the first store that I started selling at, and they know Friday mornings they can come in and they're gonna get a fresh bunch. And maybe by Wednesday, while they still look great and they'll last several days, those have been sitting around for a couple days. So people that are savvy with flowers will kind of pick up on your schedule as well. All right, let's get started. I'll show you the tulips here and then we'll do a close shot on how I wrap mine, which is really very simple. Okay, here's the first bucket. Now I put these in groups of, I believe these are singles, so I did 13 in a bunch. I'm not gonna be able to think of the name of this right off the bat. I will try and look up, but this is a beautiful pink single. I've had these in the fridge probably for 4 or 5 days. So I just pulled them out this morning. They are coloring up really quickly. I will say one thing I noticed with these in the fridge, the stems are straight. It was really easy to bunch. And the second bucket I'll show you, I just picked those yesterday, so they were sitting in my home about 68 degrees or something. They're a lot floppier. So I just kind of wanted to show you the comparison. You've probably heard Lisa Mason Ziegler and others say you have to have a cooler if you're gonna plant a bunch of tulips. I don't disagree. I don't have a big cooler yet. I'm using a fridge, which I'm limping along this year, but I told my husband, I need a cooler, I need a cooler. We have a spot planned out in the shop for that. I don't know if we'll get to it this year, but it is in the works. Because having these come out of the cooler, and these were cut. I didn't have these on the bulb. I have done that before too, and that works great, but these were just in a bucket of fresh water. So we're gonna be wrapping these up. I have 3 of these. And then here's the second bucket. I have 3 mixed bouquets, and you can see these are a little bit like flowier. They're doing what tulips do. Tulips like to flop around. So when I get these wrapped up, they're all gonna look great, and these will look great in the vase. They're gonna have a great vase life, but definitely a difference. Like I would say if people want open tulips, they're gonna gravitate towards these today and tomorrow, and then the other ones are really gonna open up later in the week. And I'm doing that intentionally because I probably won't go back until Thursday evening or Friday to replenish. So today being late Sunday, they will be in the store from Monday through Thursday evening. All right, let's get going. Okay, so I have my triangles that I showed you, and then I'm gonna fold the tissue paper similarly. It's about the same size. It's gonna sit right in on the interior here. And then let me grab a bouquet. All right, great stem length on these. I actually cut a decent amount off. Now I'm just gonna snug these down. Remember, tulips continue to elongate, so these could be 2, 3, 4 inches longer by the end of the week. So I'm gonna snug them down pretty deep into the paper. And I might put these down just a little bit farther because these two may kind of pop out and look awkward. But once I have it where I like it, I pull up the sides and I'm gonna staple here. And then I'm gonna fold over, grab my card, and staple again up here. And that's all there is to it. I think this looks pretty nice. Okay, got those all wrapped up. They go pretty quick. What do you prefer? Do you prefer monochromatic bouquets or a little mix of everything?
Moving on to those small jarred bouquets.
All right, I tried a couple because I wasn't sure I was gonna like the combination, but I decided to go very simple. These are pretty inexpensive. So I am using the same double pink tulip throughout. Now these are quite small. They are going to continue to grow and open in the vase. These are the same variety that I used in some of the wrap bouquets. I'll put a picture here for you.
I believe these are the Columbus variety, a beautiful double tulip. I don't remember them starting out this small before, but the coloring definitely looks like Columbus.
But let me show you a couple that I put together. So what I'm using are Sweet William. Let me grab my bunch here. These are Sweet William before they start to bloom. I love to use these as greenery in the early spring. Now these are in my hoop house, so if you have Sweet William outdoors, might be a few more weeks before they're to this height where you can use them. I am just putting these in short pint vase arrangements. And then I also went out, and our crabapple tree is blooming, but some of the lower branches were just leaves. So I'm using this for filler. And then they requested one of these to put a card on. So this is kind of the finished, quick little bouquet. They're gonna add a gift card and a thank you up here. I'm also gonna supply my business cards that hopefully they'll add in there. But what we have is just 3 of the double tulips, and then 3 of the crab apples and 3 of the Sweet William. Super simple recipe, really fast to put together. These don't look like much now, but they're gonna get a lot bigger. I tried to, this one isn't the best example, but I tried to tuck them down a little bit lower, knowing they're gonna continue to grow. So again, this is Sunday, and they're not delivering these until Tuesday afternoon. So that's gonna give them plenty of time for these tulips to bulk up and really become beautiful. So let's put a couple of these together, and then we'll wrap this video up. Okay, I often start with greenery, but I've been starting with the 3 tulips. Tulips have quite a bit of foliage on here. I leave the green on if they're in good shape. So I'm just giving their stems a quick snip, and then I'm tucking 3 of them in each jar. So with the rule of 3s, we're just spreading these out evenly, and that's been working really well. So there's my 3 tulips. And then I've come back in with 3 branches. Keeping the branches a little taller, knowing that our tulips will grow in the vase, but making it, you don't want it to look lopsided or anything, but just giving those tulips a little space to grow. Oops. Now I love our old crabapple tree. I have used these in this leafed out stage. I've used the branches when they're just budded up. As I mentioned, the top branches in the tree are flowering, which are hard for me to get to, but I have used those for short-term arrangements, although the flower buds, for me at least, do fall off pretty quickly. And then I'm coming in with the Sweet William and just kind of bulking up the arrangement. And with these being an inexpensive bouquet, time is kind of at a premium here. I'm not wanting to spend 20 minutes on each one. I'd like to spend 20 or 30 minutes on the whole thing. So there we go. All right, we've got one more, and then I'll show you all the jars lined up. I think they turned out pretty good.
What do you guys think? I'm used to being a flower stuffer when I'm making bouquets, but with the cost constraints here, I really had to hold back and use a lot of greenery instead. All right, guys, I'm just back from the grocery store. I am so happy. Out of the 9 bouquets, I sold 7. And again, that was about in a day and a half. So that was from Friday about noon through Saturday. So I think I will need to think about what days are going to be the best days
for me to do delivery there. Can you see that my car is shaking? It is so windy out today. I can't even hold the camera still. The whole car is shaking. Anyway, sorry. I need to think about what days it's going to make the most sense for delivery. And I may even have to pay my daughter this summer to do a drop off. I'm not sure. More to come. We'll see if the success continues there, but I think it's definitely an opportunity for me. That about does it for today. I am hoping to get an outdoor look around the gardens and our landscape filmed, but I need to find a day that's not windy and then I'm at home. So that's proving to be a challenge, but hopefully look for that soon. Until next time, let me know what you're busy doing out in your garden today, and hopefully you're not getting blown away like I am. Thanks, everyone.